Hello everyone, welcome to the next video. We are here out on the patio under the pergola. I had a little plant shopping haul the other day, and so I figured I would show you some of what I bought and then maybe show you where I'm gonna put them in the ground, or maybe what I'll probably do is just show you what I bought, read you the plant tags, and show you after I put them in the ground where I decide to put them. We had a big rainstorm, was it yesterday? No, the day before yesterday. So all the plants are very well hydrated. The soil is wet, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult to dig up and stuff, but I don't know. I might not plant today. We'll have to get out there and see how the soil is. If it's too difficult to dig, then I'll probably do it tomorrow. But at the very minimum, I'll show you what I bought while everything is looking really nice. And then I'll also show you some of the seedlings that I've been working on over the early spring. I had to pull, they've been up against my house, but in the crazy, we had like a legit thunderstorm, and there was like tornado warnings and everything. So we had like big downpours, and my seedlings got like really rained on, and their soil got disturbed, and since they're little babies, I have to treat them as such. So I pulled them out and I put more soil on them, and I'm trying to dry them out right now because they're very wet and I don't want them to rot. Temperatures are actually going to drop in the next few days at nighttime, so I'm kind of concerned about them getting too wet. So they're up on the patio table, and I have a fan blowing on them. So anyways, I figured I would let you see some of those and talk about why I'm growing those. So maybe we'll do that first. So I'm going to flip the camera around. So I got the fan over there blowing on them here. So what I did was I'm growing perennials. These are going to have to go out in the garden in the fall. They're not going to be anywhere near ready or strong enough to be put out in the garden permanently until the fall. So what we have here is I have two big perennial plants and two, let me think about this for a second. I have 3 perennial flowers and 2 perennial ground covers, all of which will produce flowers. It'll make sense as I go. So I have, the first one is called Yarrow Summer Berries. Yarrow is, you might even see it sometimes growing on the side of the roads, but it's a American wildflower. It's very drought tolerant, very hardy plant. It has beautiful foliage. As you can see, it's starting to come out, kind of fern-like foliage right here. It kind of reminds me of the greenery that comes from off of the carrot. But anyways, it's very drought tolerant, and this particular blend is called Summer Berries, as I said. So the flowers that come off of it are going to be like tones of pinks, and I think it's got a little bit of peach in it as well. So traditional yarrow is yellow, so this one has been bred to be pinks. So it should be a mixture of pink flowers. So I grew all of these seeds inside under a grow light, and then I've gradually brought them, out to the stage they're in now. So I think I have 6 different ones of these. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought I had 6. Maybe I only have 5. Anyways, these are actually the healthiest of the ones that I have right now. And as you can see, they got kind of jostled in the rain. Like the sky is kind of coming up. They should be fine. I don't want to mess with them too much. So that's one of the ones that's going to end up growing quite tall. It is not a ground cover. It's going to be a big hardy plant. So I put them in bigger containers. So they're going to live in these containers until fall. And then the goal being that they will go in the ground. So I have a lot of random plants in my garden right now, so I'm trying to do repeat plants so that there's a little bit more consistency. So that was why I did these. So then, let's see, the next bigger plant is penstemon. Penstemon E-Spirit. And Penstemon is another drought tolerant plant. And he's going to end up being pinks, tones of pinks and reds. He doesn't look like much right now, but I have like about 5 of these, I think. And I had this random seedling inside. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's a Penstemon, but I put him in here this morning, so we'll let him go. And I don't have every pot labeled, so hopefully I'll be able to identify them more as they grow. So those are the 2 main perennials. And then I also have some blanket flowers, which blanket flowers are my favorite flower. They grow wild at in coastal sites here in the Carolinas because they like really sandy, well draining soil. And I do have one in the garden right now, but it's a red blanket flower. Regular blanket flowers are more like yellows and oranges. So these are regular blanket flowers. I don't have any of the traditional blanket flowers in the garden right now, so there's some here. I have like, I guess 4 seedlings here between the 2 pots. So those are the 4 or 3 like upright big plants I have. And then I have ground cover plants, meaning that they're going to spread you know, horizontally and be ground cover. So here's one. This is called Nepeta Blue Carpet. Nepeta is a catmint, or otherwise known as what the hell is the stuff you give your cats? Catnip. It's in that same family. So it's very prolific, easy to grow, and also drought tolerant. So it's going to be a ground cover, and it will have purpley blue flowers. So that's this. And then I don't even think I have it labeled, or if I do, it's on the other deck, on the other somewhere else. But let's see if I can get a good example. It's called Mother of Thyme. Thyme like the herb, T-H-Y-M-E. These are really tiny right now. But these are going to have flowers as well and be a ground cover. And the undersides of the leaves are purple. So we have 2 flowering ground covers. And so that's what we got. And we also have some zinnia over there. That's an annual. And I'm going to put in a pot. And then I bought some discounted marigolds at Lowe's the other day. Most of them are dying. We're going to see if we can bring them back to life. I should be able to bring back to life that one right there. It's got the flower on it. The others I don't know about. Alright. So that's what we got as far as seeds. Oh, and I forgot to mention, years and years ago, I had some foxgloves that I got at a local nursery, and I saved their seeds literally probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I decided on a whim to plant them, and they are doing really well. That's what's in that back 4 count container back there. Foxgloves have to grow in part shade. And they're doing really well. So we will put them in one of our only part shade locations, which is like back here, where I have that azalea. So it will go back there whenever it grows up. Alright, so let's start talking about the other stuff that I've bought. I probably should have dispersed the... I realized I never talked about my cypress vine seeds. I've had these for years, but been kind of scared to grow them because a lot of websites said they were invasive, so I'm growing them in a container. So I'm growing them in this container for now, and then I'm going to eventually put them in a bigger container and grow them on the pergola over this trellis section here. They're supposed to get really big even just in 1 year, and they're supposed to have they have like this really interesting, I don't even know how to describe it, almost kind of like carrot top foliage, I guess, and star-shaped flowers that are red, white, and pink. So I forgot to mention those as another one of the seeds I'm growing.